that facility, including improving other roadways or rail service, and without allowing that company to unacceptably increase the tolls that the people who travel that road would have to pay. And the likelihood is, if it became a privatized system as he proposes, it would be a foreign entity that would own it and would be responsible for it. I don't think the people of Ohio want to sell off our birthright. I don't think they want to give away their birthright for a bowl of porridge or a bowl of soup. And so we're going to expose that plan for what it is. It will not work. It's an exaggerated, it's a flimsy plan that he's presenting in a flamboyant manner. Now, the so-called 65% solution. It's about the only thing that he says about education. The 65% solution. This is an idea that's being pushed by right-wing conservative groups across the country. I think it originated in Texas, like a lot of crazy things originated in Texas. You know what I mean. And he says this is the solution to education because it would force more money to go to classroom instruction. But you know what he leaves out? He leaves out school nurses and social workers and food service workers and transportation personnel and school nurses. And he leaves out tutoring. He leaves out libraries. He leaves out all the broad things that are essential for a high-quality education. And he sells it to the people of Ohio as the answer to school funding. It's a flimsy proposal presented in a flamboyant manner. He's a flim-flam man. Let me tell you what Lee and I and others working together have been doing. We've developed a plan that we call the Turnaround Ohio Plan. We don't over-exaggerate. We don't over-promise. We don't mislead people. We are telling exactly what we intend to do, and we're telling how it's going to be paid for. We are going to use the resources that are available to this state from the federal government, many of whom have been neglected. We have sent back millions and millions and millions of dollars. This government has sent back money to the federal government that they refuse to use to provide services to the people of our state. If you can imagine, that's happened in Ohio. Workforce development. We're going to try to make it possible for the workers of this state to have access to the high skills and skill improvement that they need to be competitive. Ohio now has between $65 and $75 million in the Workforce Investment Act fund that is not being used. Money that has come from the federal government, and if you don't use it within 3 years, you got to send it back. So at a time when there is great need in Ohio for worker training and education and skill improvement, we've got a leadership in Columbus that's sitting on their hands. I don't know if it's just incompetence or stupidity or what it is, but the people of this state have had enough of it. Now, another specific part of our plan. Lee Fisher and Ted Strickland, we're going to invest in the youngest of Ohio's children. And how we're going to do that is this. The first 2 years of our administration, we're going to put an additional $150 million into early child care and education for 1, 2, 3, 4-year-olds. And you know what we're going to do it without raising taxes, because we're going to use those hundreds of millions of dollars in the TANF fund, estimated to be somewhere between $700 million and $1 billion, that this state has not used to provide services to needy children and families. We're going to use that money for our little kids. Check out our website, tedstrickland.com. We've got in detail our Turnaround Ohio plan. But basically our plan is simply stated in this way. We believe that the more you learn, the more you earn in our society. And we believe there's an unbreakable connection between educational achievement and attainment and economic growth and living wage job creation. And we're going to provide opportunity for the people of Ohio, beginning with our youngest children, extending through the adults' working life. And that way we are going to make Ohio competitive. There's no reason Ohio couldn't be a leader among the 50 states instead of ranking near the bottom on most major economic indicators of health. And we're going to turn that situation around. There was a time when we were proud to be Buckeyes. We ought to be proud today because look what we have. Look what we have. We have a magnificent state. We've got natural resources that are so wonderful. The fresh water to the north, the mighty Ohio River to the south. We've got an infrastructure that's the envy of most states, great universities, research institutions. We've got healthcare facilities that are the envy of the world. We've got a history of people who've been courageous enough to take risks. Ohioans were the risk takers, the entrepreneurs, the inventors, the doers. Ohioans built Ohio, but Ohioans contributed to the building of America. Oh, we shouldn't be ashamed of ourselves. We shouldn't be discouraged. Although the leadership has been blind and visionless, it's time to get rid of them, replace them with people who will have a vision beyond the horizon, call forth the very best in people, and say together we can do it, because we can do it. So let me say to you this, 113 days. Do you understand why we're here today? We're here today because we desperately need your help. And I want to say to you, I need your help. I cannot do this. Lee Fisher cannot do this. These other candidates cannot do this without your help. I have a humble spirit and a humble heart. I know that I don't have all the answers. I'm not a perfect person. But I know this, that the spirit that built America was a spirit of people coming together and working in common purpose for the common good. We are not basically selfish people. I think sometimes the leadership on the other side encourages selfishness. But we understand that we have a responsibility not only to ourselves, to our families, and to our local communities. We've got a responsibility to our entire society. And so I'm asking you, please, please join with us. You give me a chance to be your governor, and every day I'm in that office, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to ask myself, Ted Strickland, what are you going to do today to make living wage jobs available to the people of Ohio? I'm going to say, what are you going to do today, Ted Strickland, to improve education and to make college affordable for the people of Ohio? And I'm going to say, what are you going to do today, Governor, to make health care that's of high quality more accessible to the people of our great state? Those are the core issues of state government. Those are the issues that Ohioans are thirsty to have leadership on. If that's the kind of leadership you want, someone who'll focus on the basic issues, someone who'll try to pull people together, someone who recognizes that it's only as we do this together that we're going to make promise, then I'm your guy. So I'm asking you, please, in the next 113 days, to use your influence. Every one of you has a circle of influence that is unique to you. You can talk to people and influence people that no one else can talk to or influence. And I want to designate every one of you to be a Strickland Fisher ambassador over the next 113 days. And I want to end my remarks by saying this. It's going to be a tough fight. We've seen in the Sherrod Brown ad what they're willing to do. It will be a tough fight. We're nice, humanistic people. We believe in compassion and kindness. But we also know what's at stake. And we're willing in our hearts to fight for what's worth fighting for and the future of Ohio.